How did you find Jesus?
Um, Boss, want me to tell the story? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, well, I was working with some older Christian man, and he was an ex-gang member too, and he was my foreman, and I was working with him. I was a painter, and he started sharing the gospel with me, and I was raised a Catholic. And all like that, and I never heard it the way he was telling me. So he starts telling me about Jesus and all kinds of stuff like that. So I tell him, whoa, that sounds good. I told him maybe one day I'll go to church, but I was supposed to do a shooting that night. We already had the guns and the car. They were just waiting for me to get off of work, and I was about to do another shooting. I didn't say that.
Do you get nervous at that time? Like, you work, you have a job, and you know that at night you're gonna go and shoot somebody. Do you get nervous all the day, or is it just regular stuff for you?
Not
at that
nervous.
time already?
I was excited. Like, I liked it. Like, that was my
Adrenaline?
That was my adrenaline. I liked to do shootings. That was my thing. I liked, because I wasn't all into drugs and all that other kind of stuff. I just.
But you shoot to kill or shoot to
just shoot
scare?
at them, just to scare, or just to say we shot at them. They'll know that we shot at them, or you know what I mean? Like, they knew that we went to go shoot at them, that my enemies would know. But what was I saying before? Oh, so then I knew I was gonna do a shooting. So he's sharing the gospel. So I thought maybe one day I'll go to church. Maybe if I ever get married or something. And then I said, but I don't think I could be forgiven. I did too many things. And he told me, you can be forgiven. You never heard about King David in the Bible. And I told him no. And then he was like, he was a great man of God, and he was sleeping with a soldier's wife, and he had a soldier killed. And so he's telling me that and telling me about Jesus. You can be forgiven. So I'm listening. So I'm like, oh, okay. I don't say nothing. And then I was in the room and I was painting. I was by myself, and I thought about what he said, and I prayed, but I didn't know how to pray or nothing like that. I just said, God, help me to change. And it was a trip because I achieved the greatest that you could have hoped for in that lifestyle. I was the main guy from my gang. I had respect, power. Like, I could say, you, go do this shooting or go do whatever, and they would listen. And I had women, like, I had everything that you could, like, every little gang member's dream, I achieved. I was like a ghetto superstar, like I'm saying, I achieved, but I still wasn't happy, no matter what. You would have thought, at the time I had
dream
probably,
life.
yeah, even at that time I had like probably 2, 3 girlfriends at that time, and they were all beautiful girlfriends, not just girlfriends, I mean beautiful girlfriends. And everything, I had a bunch of girls, everything. Like, you think I would have been, I'm the main guy from my gang, and everything, I would have been happy. But I wasn't happy, so I said, God, help me to change. And then I went and I did the shooting that night.
But why did you go yourself?
I didn't go, I went, there was 4 of us.
Yeah, but if you were the main guy, you could just send 4 youngsters.
Well, they went, because they wanted to go. Because a lot of times they would want to go too, because they want to earn their little names in that too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll tell them, hey, well, I'm gonna go shoot it, and some of them, hey, I want to go too, you know what I mean? And so I was like, all right, I was shooting, I had a gun, you know what I mean? But we had another one, he had a gun. I think we had 3 guns, so one was driving, and then we had 3 guns, so there's 3 other ones, so there was 4 of us, and all 3 of us had guns. So
you just stick out the window and you shoot?
Depends, but we didn't. We went to like the heart of their enemies, like with that gang that we gonna go that. We heard like the heart of their neighborhood, like the heart where. So we walked. We were just gonna walk. We walked in the heart where they say, like, we were 3 of us. We were all 4 of us, or whatever. But we walked all into the heart of their neighborhood, and we walked around, and we're looking for them. And if we seen any of them, then we had 3 guns. We were gonna, blah, blah, blah. So we walked all around their neighborhood. We were looking, where are these guys at? Like, where are they at? We didn't see none. So then we walked back to the car, and because there were some girls, we were gonna hang out with some girls right there. And I go, let's go hang out with these girls and then we'll come again looking for these guys, because there's none of them here. So we put up in some apartments, and there's like a top thing right there, and I look and I see they were there. Like, so the guys are right. So I see the 2 of the guys are right there, and they were like, what? I said, oh, and I put my hand, yeah, like I put my gun was already right there ready, everything. I already had my gloves on it because we were just looking for them. So as soon as the guys got up, I put my hand in my pocket, I got my gun, like, bam. So the fool's like, whoa, what's up? And I told him, what's up? Like that. I told him, what's up? Like that. And that fool was like, what? And as soon as he said that, I shoot, you know what I mean? I pull out my gun, I shoot, bam. So then they start leaving, and then my other comes out. He shoots too and all that, so we leave, boom. We took it off in the car, and we're all ducked down. And then my homeboy, he's driving, and I could tell he's like scared as he's driving like fast. And I tell him, just drive normal, don't panic, drive normal. Because then the cop, like, we're all right. And then he's like, the cops are behind us. And I can hear it in his voice, he sounds scared. So I tell him, don't panic, just drive normal and all that. And then I just seen the cop lights. So then we got up and we had a high-speed chase and we crashed and all that. And then I got busted and I was in the county and I had 7 felonies. I was looking at life because I already did years for shootings. Got out, I was still on parole, and I got busted for another ones again. So then I said I had 7 felonies, so I was in the county, and I thought about everything that man had told me. So I prayed that night, and I don't remember because I didn't know how to pray or nothing like that. So I know that God knows your heart, because He knew my heart, and I got saved that night. I prayed and I got saved.
But then you got paralyzed.
Yeah, because
you got into more shootings.
When I got out again, because I got saved that night, and I started reading my Bible, and I started it changed because I remember when I used to be in juvenile hall and in YA, I used to try to read my Bible, but it used to be boring to me. It was like nothing, I didn't understand it. But after that night, when I got saved, I started reading the Bible came alive to me. And not only did it come alive to me, I was hungry for it. So I'm growing, reading it, and I started going to Bible studies in there. But the mistake that I made was I tried to walk on both sides of the fence. I was still trying to kick it with all the guys, the fellas, like I told you, sureños. I was trying to kick it with my homeboys in there, but then I was reading my Bible and going to Bible studies too, so I was trying to do both sides of the fence.
Yes.
I was trying to do both because I didn't want people to think I picked up the Bible in jail. So I was doing both, and you know how the devil is, man, but I was learning about God, and then I got blessed. I only got a few years, so they sent me up to prison, and I went to a level 3 yard, and the level 3s and level 4s is the big times. That's where all the murderers and the ones doing a lot of time, the crazies, is at the level 3s and level 4s. So they sent me up to a level 3, and they know in there. Remember I told you YA boys, everybody knows that the guys who are in YA are soldiers. They're the crazy ones, the riders. They call them the riders. You know what I mean? They're doing the stuff. So I was a YA boy. So as soon as I got to the pen right there on the yard, my first day, I was a YA. They knew I was a YA. I seen dudes even that I was with in YA in there on the yard, right there. And one of my homeboys was on the yard. So they were like, hey, there's some Norteños right here. So guys from the northern, I told you. They're all, we need you to get them, hey, we need you to rush these fools. So I was like, I didn't want to because I was already learning about God, trying to I was like trying to walk with the Lord, but I told my boy, man, and that's how I knew something had changed, because before they wouldn't even have to tell me. I would have been volunteering, like, oh dude, like I was before like that, but I didn't even want to do it. That's how I knew something dramatically changed inside of me, because I didn't want to do it. And I was like, man, I don't want to do it, but will it look bad if I don't do it? And then the homie was like, yeah, it'll look bad if you don't do it. So I'm like, man. So I started, boom, getting a fight. So slowly getting fights. Then another time, then I had to do another one. They told me to rush these other ones. So then I rushed those ones too. And I'm just getting trouble, fights, going into the hole. So I'm slowly but surely started falling away from God. And like I said, I didn't know nothing about nothing. I got saved and all that, but I was reading my Bible sometimes, going to Bible studies sometimes. But even time I knew another time it changed me, because one of those Norteños that I had rushed, right? Later, months later, whatever, I'm in Bible study. And he was there, and he was sitting right there. And after I'm right there, And then I turned to him and I apologized. I told him, hey man, I'm sorry that I rushed you and all that, whatever. And he was like, oh, all right, man, it's all right. But even that was a dramatic change. Like never before would I apologize to my enemy for that. But that's why the Lord was already working in me and changed, like something was dramatically had happened to me like that. But it just, like that slowly, I was like that. And then I got out. And then that's when I got out, and then I was doing good, man. Because I had 2 strikes, so I couldn't get arrested again. I was gonna get life and all that. So, and my mom and them moved way up to Victorville.
Tell me about those strikes. If you've got 3 strikes to go to lifetime?
You get life automatically. So if I get busted for anything, I will get life. So I got out. So I was like that, and then my family moved. My mom bought a house up in Victorville, so it was like far from my hood. So I got up, I was over there, and I was working, and I started, but I messed up because I started messing with, always that was my downfall, was girls. Because I used to, like I said, I used to get a lot of girls. So I started messing with girls up there, and that's even why I got shot, even too. It was over girls and that, but I ended up getting into some guy, but I was doing good, man. I was working, just staying over there. And then it was a trip to how the Lord works, because one of my homeboys from my hood, right, he called me, he told me, hey, come down to the hood. And I was like, nah, man, I ain't trying to go down around over there, eh? And then he was like, nah, come, eh? You only stay at my house. Because he was already married, like settled down. He had 2 kids and settled down. He had his own place and all that. He said, no, you just come and stay in my house. I'll have the homeboys come to the house and they'll visit you right there. So you'll just be at the house. He goes, we'll pick you up and this and that. So I said, all right, I'll go then. So I went down to my neighborhood. We partied that whole night. And the next morning, right, it was like Sunday at 1 o'clock. And his little daughters played softball. They were little, like, his little daughter was like 9 years old, and she played softball, right? So we're in front of a house at 1 o'clock in the daytime, and it was her baseball coach, her softball coach. It was a woman coach. It was a woman with her daughter. Her daughter was like 9 years old. His daughter's like 9 years old. Me and him, and he's talking to the coach, right? So we're right there in front of her house talking to the coach, and a car pulls up, and it's my enemies, right? So he pulls up, but it's on this side. So the guy sitting shotgun, he's like close, right? So the car pulls up, and then that fool says, and I tell him, Puente, like, what's up? I tell him, Puente. And then he pulls out a gun, bam, right on me. Like, he has me like this close, like literally like this close. So I'm right there, I tell him, Puente. And he, boom, he has the gun on me, like, whoa. And he's so close like this, like try to run, like there's no way, you're so close, you can't run, he's gonna hit you or whatever. So he, let me turn off my ringer. He has me so close, so I know it's not even no use running, he's gonna shoot me or whatever. So so he pulls it out, he has me right there, so I'm like, whatever, eh? I tell him like, whatever. And my homeboy's like pretty close to me. My homeboy tells him, you gonna shoot us in front of my daughter? You're gonna shoot us in front of my daughter? So that guy looks, and he sees the daughter and that other coach and that other little girl right there, like right by us. So he has him like that, and he looks at them, and then he looks, and he keeps going like that, and I could see it in his eye, like he's like, should I? He's like debating, like, should I? Because he's going like that, like, and I could see him, he's like thinking like that, and he has me right there. And but then my cousin pulls up behind him, and my cousin jumps out, and he has a gun on him, like that. So then the guy says, okay, it's in his car, and he leaves. But I could have died right then, right? So I felt the Lord was like giving me a last little chance, because I could have died right there. And then I ended up getting shot soon after that. I got shot like real soon after that. So I was like, if the Lord was giving me like a last little chance.
You didn't get the lesson.
I didn't get the lesson, and I got shot and paralyzed soon after that.
What did you feel?
When I got shot?
Yeah, when you got paralyzed.
I didn't really feel it, brother. I didn't feel it, because then I got shot because I got into it with some guy. And so I went to his house, and I was just kicking down his front door. Like, imagine somebody right now just kicks down your front door, comes in and just gets you. I was kicking down the guy's front door, and as I'm kicking down the door, he shot me. Boom. He shot me right here out the side window. Out the window, he shot me. Boom. And I didn't feel it. Like, it felt like little something, like something, but I had no pain. Like, I felt like the initial, like, something. And then I took like 2 steps, and then I fell. Boom. And then I was on the floor, but I had no pain or nothing, right? But I couldn't feel my legs, right? So I fell and I'm on the floor, and then he's shooting more. Boom, boom. He's trying to shoot me. So I'm trying to pull myself with my arms. So I'm pulling myself, and my little cousin was with me, and he had a 9mm, and he's right there on the wall, like hiding with the 9mm. So I look at him and I tell him, "What are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm shot right here. He's shooting at me, and you're right there with a 9mm in your hand." So I tell him, "What are you doing?" I said, "Blast." So my little cousin starts shooting with the 9. Boom, 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 boom. So when he's shooting, my brother picks me up and they take me to the car. And like I said, I didn't feel nothing or nothing. And then they put me in the back seat of the car, and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" And I tell them, "I don't know. I think I'm shot. I can't feel my legs." And then they lifted up my shirt, and they're like, "Yeah, you're shot." And the reason I couldn't feel it is because it went through my lung and it went into my spine. So all my blood was going into my lung, and I was choking on my own blood. But I didn't feel no pain.
Did you ask then God why this happened?
No, but I got scared, and so they were like, because first I told myself, hey, when they told me you're shot, I got scared right then. I was thinking, dang, hang on for the ambulance, hang on for the ambulance. So then the ambulance comes, and then the cops in the ambulance, they're all on me, and they put an IV in my arm, and I can hear them talking. And they're like, "He's not going to make it. His only chance is to call for the chopper." So they tell me, "We're going to call the chopper. We're going to airlift you. Hang on." So now I'm like, man, hang on for the chopper now. Hang on for the chopper. And as soon as they put me in the chopper, we start flying. And I could feel it, like when I'm dying. Like you can feel when you're dying, man. I'm right there, and I'm choking on my own blood. And I feel like if I'm dying. So I started calling out to Jesus. But I wasn't praying like, "Lord, help me to live," because I thought I was going to die at any second. It was only repentance. It was only, I didn't want to go to hell. So I started calling out to Jesus, and it was a trip because I was all emotionally, physically, all scared, dying and all that. But once I started calling out to Jesus, I just felt wonderful peace came over me, and I was just so at peace, and I was just so comforted. But I knew instantly, like I knew. And then even too, as soon as they took me into the emergency room, they were all on me, and I just remember looking down, and there was like I'm telling you, bro, it was like a big old drill. So I just remember looking down, and I just see a drill going in me. I don't even think they didn't have no time in that to give me no anesthetic or nothing. I just looked, and I just see a drill going, and just the blood. Like when it goes in, I just see the blood squirts on me, and like, and I just looked, but I was just like, I didn't even care, because so they put a chest tube in me. They put a tube in my lung and like that. But I was just like, I didn't care. I was like, save me, because thought I was gonna die. You know what I mean? I was just like, go ahead, do whatever, like just to save me. But I knew though, instantly, I felt immediately that God left me, that God was gonna use me. Like I felt it. I was like, God left me, and God, He's gonna use me for something. He left me for something. So God just immediately, God started using me, even when I was right there. Even too, it was a miracle. Like my parents told me that when they went down there, that they were talking to the doctor, and they told that the doctor said that it was a miracle. He said that the bullet was coming straight to my heart, but just for no mysterious reason, it ricocheted into my spine, and he didn't know how that happened. And the doctor told my mom it was like if an angel put his hand in front of my heart, because he didn't know how the bullet was coming straight from my heart, but just for no particular reason, it just went pshoom, and it went into my heart. So that's what they told him, my parents. The doctor told them that he didn't understand how that had happened. And so then the doctors were like, I was like how I am right now. The Lord gave me peace for my situation. And they were like, hey, can you go around the hospital? They were like we never seen a guy like you before. Usually when they're young and we tell them they're never going to walk again, usually we have to give them antidepressant medicines. But the Lord gave me peace. So even from immediately, I started going around the hospital trying to cheer, because they had me in like a wing with all the quadriplegics and all that. So I was going around the hospital. I was all shot up myself, but I was going around trying to cheer up all the other patients and all like that. So immediately God started using me. And then as soon as I got released from the hospital, I got married. And then my first time I got married, and then I started going into juvenile halls. Doing Bible studies, and I started sharing the gospel with a lot of my ex-gang member homeboys and my family and like that. And then my whole family got saved. They all got saved. And then so God was just using me for a lot of things. I started speaking at different churches, and I got to speak at a school, and even the San Bernardino Police Department, they had like a thing where they had all the parolees, the recent parolees, in like a big room, and they had me go in there and speak to all the parolees and I tell them my story and everything like that. So, and I started speaking at like car shows, and God was just using me for like a lot of things at that time.
Amen. Did you get any testimonies from real people, real gang members that they got out of gangs because of you, because of your story?
Oh, but yeah, I have a lot, probably. But I never truly asked them for their testimony or what, but I know a lot that I didn't, but the Lord used me to share with them, and they got saved.
But if you didn't get shot back then, there was no chance you would quit, right, doing those things.
Unless maybe if I got married or something like that, or something maybe, if I settled down.
You was so stubborn?
Yeah, I was just so, like, to me, my gang was everything to me, bro. Like, I didn't care about my family, nothing. Like, my gang was like my whole
Almost worshipped?
life. Almost worship, bro.
Substitution to God.
It was my everything. And those, like, I don't know why or what. Because my brothers and the other family members weren't like that. Like, out of all my family, even though they were all gang and all that, I think I was the most gang related. Like my brother, even though he was all gang, but he settled down right away. Even my little brother got into gang, he settled down right away. Like even some of my cousins, they all settled down. Like the girl was pregnant, you know what I mean? Got married and stuff like that. So they were still would come around the gangs and things like that. But I was like the most gang related, I think, out of all my family.